eyes in it and getting ideas in. There's a lot of thinking skills going on as well there, so they're just gaining so much from it.
We're doing a tea magazine and we're going to do advice, soaps, celebrities, you know, all that kind of thing. It's like a magazine live on the radio. Like, they're not going to tell us what to do. We have to be independent and do things ourselves.
Carl and Dave being a lot of help there, helping us out, making us feel relaxed and that. Kind of gets the structure that work out now we're sorting it now.
To sit down and mind map may help me realise that I've got all the information that I want. I know it, and I just need to start to extract the points that I can make and make interesting in a 2-hour radio slot. The message that I want to promote can be a bit dull and heavy on paper, so I've got to look at it and see how I can make that interesting. Carl was obviously listening in to my practice, and it's quite good I found it very welcoming that he asked me to consider using different levels of voice, and I like the way he sort of likens it to, for example, today it's like bouncing balls or walking up an escalator, so projecting your voice at different levels, something I would never ever think of doing. That needs to be brought out of me, and I welcome the way it's done.
I like the fact there's a lot of independent work, so you're not necessarily sort of all doing group work at the same time. You can kind of go off and work on your own specific show and your own sort of ideas, and then it's good to have the experience as well of being, you know, using all the equipment and stuff. Kind of thought when I started, like, oh, it'll be fine, it's just speaking to a microphone, but it's really not. You need to practice, so it's good that you can kind of have that independent work and then come together at the end and everyone can critique your performance.
I've been really impressed with the way that the people working with the radio, like the Alliance people, have worked with the children, because they've let them have their own ideas. And they've come up with the ideas for the show, and they've helped them mould their ideas. They haven't told them what to do, so they've been given a lot of independence. So they've started off just writing ideas down in mind maps and things like that, and then the people have worked with them and they found information on the internet, and they've come up with short pieces of script that they like typing up and reviewing all the time. It's really nice the way they've been working with them, because it's very different, the relationship with the team. It's very laid back, very relaxed. You know, they don't like to be called Sarah, Miss, and the children are liking that. They're responding to that. They feel, you know, that they're working on the same level, and they really, really enjoyed it.
It's been a good experience, you know. We get to meet other people, and we get to talk about other people about serious matters, you know, serious problems with the community. And I think that, in a way, we're actually bettering ourselves and everyone else.
Each week, the kids have had a 2-hour session with Carl and David, and they've come in not as teachers, but more as their peers, and really not like instructed them or been, you know, telling them off. They've really just sort of guided them along the way, and they've suggested things rather than actually try to teach them anything, and the kids have picked up on that and developed those ideas, and as they've been going along, Carl and David have just sort of helped them really. They haven't done what would be like seen as a traditional teaching role. They've come in and let the kids really like dictate what goes on in each session, and let the kids at the end of it review it and see how they think things have gone and where their strengths and weaknesses are.
I'm going to be a bit nervous, obviously, but, you know, it's going to be fun because you're going to be broadcasting to the whole of Kensington and possibly more, so it's going to be good.
Normally, as a rule, we would use shopping centres and house them within, or big stores. But in this area, unfortunately, there isn't one that would fit that bill. So we're in McDonald's, which is central, it's on a hill, it's all glass. So we've got a glass building with a glass studio in there. And it's about high visibility.
It actually worked phenomenally well, I thought, because what happened was we were in this glass box in McDonald's, and people were actually coming to watch the radio, which I think is quite an interesting phenomenon.
I mean, we've got a glass studio, a glass conservatory studio, So that's what people can see what goes on, so they can listen to it on the radio simultaneously and see it as well. So you're breaking a mystique.
The studios you can see is in McDonald's, which is like literally in the dead centre of Kensington, going on the Kensington and Shield Road. There's loads of people going past it all the time. The local community see what's happening, and the people who are on it are all genuine local people, genuine local things to say, genuine local voices.
I was a little bit surprised when I heard that it was going to be in McDonald's. I think it's great. It's obviously a really public place where people in the community can see what's going on and learn a little bit more about it. It looks a bit like a big greenhouse or something, doesn't it? And it's I'm a bit nervous about being inside a little glass box and everybody being able to see me while I'm talking on the radio, but I guess I'll just get used to it. And you kind of think of radio as this thing that's not really accessible to everyone. It just kind of happens in the Radio City Tower or whatever. So I think it's quite nice to sort of see it happening right in front of you and to see actually what a radio studio looks like and to see all the equipment and everything.
To be honest, I thought I would be aware of everybody that was in the restaurants, but I was just totally oblivious to it. I was just so focused on all the buttons and the levers and what I'm supposed to be saying and what CDs I'm supposed to be loading. So I was just, I say, totally oblivious to what was going on out here.
Car's done really well making it wheelchair safety, because one of our presenters, Paula, is in a wheelchair and he's designed it so that a wheelchair can get in, so it's fantastic and yeah, it's really good.
The equipment that people have been trained on is similar but not the same as the stuff they're going to use when they go live. It'll be situated differently, it'll look different, but it all does the same thing. It's all fader driven, so it all does the same thing. Test transmissions are the Saturday and the Sunday. We bring everybody in at a time slot. So those 2 days are about getting people to explore the new equipment, which is also going out live incidentally, so people are hearing it and listening to it outside.
We were all a bit apprehensive and a bit nervous at first. On the way up we were going, what are we going to say, what are we going to do? And then when we got in there, I think it all just come into place. I'm really looking forward to doing the actual 2 hours now. And that. And I think what we learned as well come in handy about planning stuff and that. But I really did enjoy it.
We've been doing the test transmission in the studio. I feel calm now because I was panicking. What's the studio going to be like? Is it going to be like crammed in and everything? But since I've been in the studio now and everything, I feel calm.
The test transmission, that was, well, it's a bit surreal really, I think, because you're going live and it's as soon as you speak and it's everyone's listening to you, you get a bit. It was nervous. I mean, getting to know, because we've been learning with on a different space, but I mean it's simply it is all the same, but in a different order. So you're just right, okay. So you just get used to it, don't you?
It's very exciting to be here in McDonald's, where we know that we've got some people who can come in, sit down, have a cup of coffee, look over, see what's happening, listening to the station.
Yeah, I think it was good when you're waiting to go in, that you can see other people taking part and listening to them on the radio, actually seeing it working at the same time as it's happening really helps calm your nerves a bit before you go on.
At first I was nervous, but after it I wanted to do it over and over again. I'm more confident now, I know what it's going to be like. When you listen to Radio City or something like that, you never know what they look like, but in this one, everyone can just see what you look like and they can listen to you at the same time.
As far as the test transmissions go, I think it was a vital, integral part of the training that we received, because the thought of going in to present a live radio show without having had the opportunity to go in and experience what it was going to be like during the test transmission, I think it would have been a lot more